Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your December 2015 Tarotscope. It's Raina here, and I was trying to kind of come up with just a general overview of what the month's energies are going to be like, but it's kind of hard to say because there are different things happening. I will say that home is featured, and this could be with your family of origin or also with your current family because Saturn has been recently ensconced in the fourth house of home and family. Sometimes this can play out as having more responsibilities with your parents, especially if they're aging. For some of you, this may relate to your actual physical home right now, that you are doing a lot of renovation, and so there's a lot of details to be ironed out. Or even some of you might be putting down roots because Saturn can indicate living somewhere for a long time. During a Saturn transit, supposedly a lot of people don't move because they are kind of rooted in place. But if you have recently bought a new home and have settled in, it may be for quite a while that you stay there. So the sun is going to be there for the first 3 weeks of the month. And then there's a new moon in the fourth house on the 11th of December. So there are new beginnings on the home front and new developments possibly. You can also set your intentions for your dream house. Speaking of moons, we have a full moon on Christmas Day at 3 degrees of Cancer, and this will fall in your 11th house of hopes and wishes, as well as friends and groups. And so there might be some news that you hear or something comes to light involving a friend of yours or involving something that you have wanted to come to pass. So maybe one of your dreams comes true during the month of December, especially in the last week there after Christmas. You have Jupiter in the first house for an entire year, Virgo. And I think that this is just like general luck. It's a whole new cycle of Jupiter beginning with your first house. So if you felt like you've kind of had the tar kicked out of you in life, you should be able to hitch a star right now because the North Node is also transiting through Virgo. It is in the last degrees and it travels backwards. So, with the North Node and Jupiter in the same sign, there is a sense of destiny for Sun, Moon, and Rising Virgos. And I think that one of the best things about astrology is that it can trigger anticipation of certain things coming true, and that alone can increase the likelihood of whatever it is that you want to actually be made manifest. Venus has been in your second house, and on the ninth, it will enter your third house of communications in the sign of Scorpio. Now, Venus in the second has been really good for making money and also spending money on things that you don't necessarily need, but you've really been wanting, which we call luxury items. In the third house, which happens to be a mental house and deals with communication, Venus there enhances whatever kinds of messages you send, writing that you do. There is a charm attached to your output. And this can be particularly beneficial for writers or people who use the internet, maybe even as a business, people who write blogs. Mars will remain in the second all month. And so you really have a lot of stamina when it comes to earning money. You might even be chomping at the bit to kind of make these ideas that you've been having brought out into the world and testing them to see if they generate a lot of income. So I think that really helps you in terms of money, Virgo. Now, on November 25th, which happens to be today when I am recording this, there was a full moon in your 10th house of career. So, in terms of looking at that money sector, the income sector of the second house, there might have been something that transpired at that point or shortly thereafter that has stimulated your second house of the money that you earn. So I hope that that comes true for those of you who have been wanting this. Whoa, Virgo, I picked some really intense cards for you. Although the first card I picked is actually pretty sweet. I picked the Ace of Pentacles to describe how you are doing right now in terms of your consciousness. So it probably means that there have been new beginnings in the money that you earn or in your career as December gets underway. The message from the universe is the Three of Swords. So it's one of those things where it might be saying, you're thriving in your career and your money sector, and your personal life is kind of taking a beating. And of course, this is a general reading, Virgo. I'm not suggesting that all of you are experiencing heartbreak, which is what the Three of Swords represents. If you would like a personalized reading using your own astrological data, click on the link below for a list of my services. Now, the thing I want to mention also in terms of the transits is that on November 18th, Neptune turned direct in the sign of Pisces, which is its natural placement. And this just so happens to be your seventh house because it's opposite your first house. Okay, Virgo? So, that's your complementary sign. And so some of you who have been married or in a so called committed partnership may have learned some disturbing news or otherwise seen the light in some way about your partner. Because what happens is that when Neptune is retrograding, it really creates more fog, more confusion, and therefore more illusion. And it's like it goes direct and you can see the light again. You can see things as clearly as you can with Neptune. And having Neptune in this house for a very long term transit, I think it's going to be there until at least 2018 or so, means that some of you may have gotten married to someone who didn't turn out to be who they said they were. So, you can just run the gamut with what that means. And this card just indicates that some of you may have found that out, especially when Neptune turned direct. The advice card is the Hermit, which is going within. It's actually your card, Virgo, believe it or not. It's a major arcana card and it deals with tapping into your own intuition, but going it alone, not mingling with other people and sharing your story of woe, but kind of keeping your own counsel. The accompanying card is the Ten of Swords, and I think this just means that you have to accept that you have been betrayed. Sometimes people really get into denial and they refuse to accept the truth of the situation, and it ends up prolonging their agony. And so this card is really asking you to see things as they are and to deal with them accordingly, not to try to create your own narrative that doesn't really work anymore. The outcome card is the death card. So there's your cheery ending, but actually it is. It's a time of transition for you, Virgo. Again, with Jupiter in the North Node transiting your sign, I think that you are actually on the right track, but there might be some dead weight that needs to be gotten rid of. People or places or things that you need to let go of because they're holding you back in some way. And if you really want to reap the rewards of Virgo in your own sign, then it would behoove you to try to make as much self improvement as you possibly can so that you will be signaling to the universe that you believe that you are deserving of the best, which you are. So, Virgo, I hope you enjoyed your December reading and I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye.